Right, you lot, and welcome back to the 8th part of this 12-part lyric breakdown series. 2/3 of the way there. I know, banging maths. Right, so if you don't know what I'm doing, I'll catch you up. So basically, I'm doing a series where I'm going track by track of the new album and breaking down what the meaning of the songs are, breaking down the meaning of the words, and this one today is going to be a very interesting lyric breakdown. That's what I'm going to say, because I feel like with a lot of the songs that they're quite easy to talk about, they're quite easy to lay out kind of the process. Like, oh, No Astro was just a song about growing up, or Nightmare Neighbour was just about some dodgy person from a few years ago. But I think this track is very complex, and it's very different from the others, and it was a late addition to the past, the present, and the future, because it was never meant to be on this album. In fact, it was meant to be part of a different project, but I decided that it made sense to be on the album, and as I break it down, I kind of explain that. But yeah, it's a very different song from anything I've done, because I like to change stuff up, I like to do things differently, and this is the first song I've ever written which didn't have a chorus. There's no repeated chorus or hook that you hear multiple times throughout the song. It's like even Bandage, which was kind of the closest I ever did to this, was it had two choruses in it. I mean, I know the chorus changed, but it definitely had a climaxing point, whereas Lying to Myself didn't have that. Lying to Myself was more deadpan, more of a novel. So how can I explain what Lying to Myself is about in the simplest words? I do these raw and unscripted, so I'm learning working this out this year. It's a track about bringing closure in your mind to something that you're never going to get closure on. So it's the line to myself in the title has two meanings. So there's the line to yourself denying that you're not still in love, and then there's the line to yourself of like denying that there's even a possibility of resparking anything there. So it's like that. It's a double entendre, and it changes as the song goes on. And I think this is a song about madness, delusions, a lot of battles in my mind. So let's get into the lyrics so I can kind of express this one a bit more. So we got, when you told me about her, I was hit with relief and it was over. Even when you two were brief, you apologised and you asked her, I told you it didn't affect me. I told you I'm feeling better now, my mind free. Yeah, this is like a year and a half of story in 4 lines. So what I wanted to do is like the climax point of Not Enough, of that whole love arc, I guess you could say, that kind of reaches its climax at around, well, I wrote that song January of 2023, but it was more based, and I came up with the idea around October 2022, so that's where we're on the timeline. So this spans even beyond that, so just to kind of put into perspective, and it's basically when you find out someone has someone, and then you're like, well, you kind of got to move on with your life, and then at some point you kind of mature, grow, you kind of talk again, and you move on with life. I laugh at the days for a good while, now there's tears behind every smile, nothing's that at the time. I realised I think I had to just pretend that it was over, because it had to be over, so I just kept making a joke out of it, or kept like going, if anyone would bring it up in any semblance, I just kind of go, oh, that was all a joke, didn't mean that. Yeah. Okay, then the kind of bridge, or at least I guess the climax point, is you'd never know the agony and the free and blades ignite, that batter and clatter in my mind night after night. I'm clinically saying I really need help, because all this time I've been lying to myself. I feel like they say emotionally you peak at about 2 to 4 a.m, like that block of time, because it's like when you're at your most emotional point, because you're overtired, but then you're also like, can distraught and confused and things are fuzzy, but then you really deep things and you're kind of, there's no distractions, it's all quiet, so you're pretty much just left with your thoughts, which is quite a scary thing in all honesty to face. But I think that was kind of what I was going for, and it's like you'd survive the day, you don't really think about these things normally in passing, but then it kind of reaches the early hours and like you're reminiscing, you're lying to yourself, you're going mad here, and there's no way to talk about that. Okay, then verse 2 is, please I need some sort of diffusion. At this point it's absolute delusion. I know this over, I know there's no future. We've always all forgotten about my traces after them, to never see each other's faces, minds and hearts and faces, perpetual torment. Okay, I can't be free, can I be to the truth, not with me? It only make it worth that what we are now. So this is like that, stop it, stop doing this. Like you're obsessed and you want something that can't happen now. And it's ridiculous, and it's lunacy to even believe that, and it's like, you pick the worst time for this to all come, and it's like, maybe you're just thinking this because the end is coming, or maybe it actually is there, and it's like, it's very strange. And it's like, you couldn't confess, you couldn't say anything like that, because the story's over. It's like, no one asks what happens after the end of the book, because it's like, it's a sequel that's not needed. It's like one of those, when movies, the first one's more successful than they think, and they force a sequel. That's what this is like, in a way. Then the truth is, you never did. I'm in love with it, monster, completely creepy. By Mr. Butterfly, pressing like madman with alcohol. I was in love, I made a life kill, kind of fight, but everything I had to lose you once it went dry. The torch was so walked the door now. Not what it was. Yeah, it's like it's that reminiscent, isn't it? It's like you go through these stages of like you're denying it, it's impossible, and then you're like, well, you keep remembering things, and it's like you keep those memories because it's all you're ever gonna have now. So that's kind of the thing, and it's like you've got to go into a situation every day where you've got to face this with no way of expressing it, because things are different now and in different faces. So this is a very horrible track. I'm just realising. And then verse 3 is kind of more the reality element of the whole thing. So how do you feel about the pain? Well, went wrong with the red fire. How I was led on. I broke a paper. My heart's going that. It's something to feel this point. To the reality, drenched insanity, absolute fantasy. I obsessed with the disease from my brain. Can't cause the pressure. I thought so. And regression. Truth is, I'm lying to myself. So that's kind of the more reality check of like, there's a reason this didn't happen the first time. Like that there were a lot of problems that went on in round 1. So like there's no reason you should be feeling this. There's no reason you should be in this zone, because it's like, it's lunacy. It's an insanity, and it's like but no matter what you do, you keep falling back. And yeah, so that is Line to It. I feel like this song is the reason I put it as the last track, because you're like, well, it's in the future section, but you're talking about stuff in the present. Well, it's kind of that idea of, no matter how far you go in life, some things do always stick, and some moments are always regret, and it's kind of that idea of like, you're trying to, you're at the end of the album, you're in the future, but this is still there, and this is still impossible to shake, and that's kind of the sad reality. Like there's gonna be 1 or 2 songs regarding this situation, the next project, which I've already started outlining now, and it's like, because these things have such impacts, and they have such long-lasting kind of feelings. So that's the truth of the whole matter. So yeah, this was an interesting lyric breakdown. Not my favourite one to do. I think it's a hard one to discuss, but I'm glad I did this one. So yeah, I will see you on the next one. We're doing this as Shadow Man. That shouldn't be a dad. So see you soon. Bye.